The Raiders were a threat in Appalachia well before Vault 76 was ever opened. They stole from, killed, and destroyed many of Appalachia's people and settlements. But in the end, the Raiders were victims of unfortunate circumstance that led them down the dark path that they traveled. These people were survivors, and they didn't necessarily start out as bad people. So what caused a group of seemingly normal West Virginians to turn into the cruel heathens that we see evidence of in Appalachia today? We will also hear from Meg Groberg, a returning character and leader of the Raider faction in the Wastelanders update.
We ain't gonna let anyone stand in our way.
The story of the Appalachian Raiders starts the day the bombs fell. The morning of October 23, 2077 started out just like any other day in Appalachia. Senator Blackwell was hunkering down in his bunker, the Grafton mayor was parading the Grafton monster around town, and the Sickle Man was doing Sickle Man things. Alright, maybe everything wasn't so normal in Appalachia, but up in the Sunnytop ski resort, everything actually was normal. Wealthy tourists and locals were enjoying the snow at one of the many ski resorts in the Blue Ridge Mountains. On this day, the bombs fell, and the region went into chaos. Simple infrastructure no longer functioned. Food deliveries, electricity, and transportation systems broke down. The people atop the mountains in the ski resort were now trapped. At the Pleasant Valley cabins, we can hear a holotape detailing the days following the bombs.
It's been barely a week since the bombs fell, and supplies have become scarce. The former guests at the resort are exploring the feasibility of sending out scavenging groups to hunt down whatever they can find. What's starting to dawn on us is that there will be people outside the resort sending groups of their own. Who knows if they'll be friendly, or simply take what they want. Instead of waiting to find out, we've concluded that our goods should be locked up for safekeeping. It's a smart move, and one that will keep our belongings protected until the government rescue teams arrive. It's good to know that there's still some rationality left amongst all this chaos.
Unbeknownst to Geraldine, there isn't going to be a government rescue. The citizens at the ski resort lasted about a month on the rationed supplies until they decided to send an envoy to Charleston to look for help. In the Morgantown airport, we can find the Christmas flood holotape where we can hear what happened to these desperate vacationers. I have a whole video on the Christmas flood that details the events that led up to the destruction of Charleston. I will have that video linked in the description below and in the cards above. Here is the Christmas flood.
I suppose the story really begins in November of 2077, the month after the war. Survivors from the Pleasant Valley Ski Resort sent a group to Charleston to ask for help and supplies. The city leaders turned them away. There was so much chaos and so much need back then, I suppose it was an impossible request to grant. The failure to secure help led to a change in leadership for the survivors at the ski resort. A cold and brutal man named David Thorpe took charge, and he shaped those people into something terrible.
The change in leadership is something we're going to be talking about later in the video. As you heard, the decision to deny supplies to the people of the ski resort wasn't an easy one, but the Charleston government at the time didn't have any other choice. Now that Charleston had denied the supplies, previously peaceful and hopeful vacationers have turned to raiding and robbing in order to survive. At this point, Marjorie McClintock has taken a leadership role in the Raiders. She tried to make the best of a bad situation. We can hear from Meg Groberg in a holotape about Marjorie's tactics. Like I said, Meg will be returning in the Wastelanders update to lead the Raider faction. Here's Meg.
Meg here. Look, I've got to say something before it's too late. I think old Margie is off her rocker, man. You know, we are all trying our best here, but this whole idea of being a raider without killing is way harder than it sounds. I mean, yeah, I get it, but damn, girl. This is life and death out there. Some of these people are just trying to make it like anyone else after the bombs. Yeah, I don't want to kill them if they don't give up their stuff. But, you know, we gotta eat, and so do they. Waving a gun around used to scare them, but now they got nothing to lose, so they wave one right back. I keep telling Margie we are losing people out there because we're told not to fire first, and it ain't getting any easier. She don't know it yet, but a lot of us, we've been firing first anyway, so to save our skins. Margie be pissed, but she ain't out there like the rest of us, so to heck with her. Only reason we don't up and mutiny her ass is because she's got that piece of the key for the cash and a few loyalists to protect her. And honestly, it still beats hanging with any of the other gangs. That deal we've got with the Palace is pretty sweet. All told, we got it pretty good. Oh well, guess all we can do is keep on keeping on, you dig?
So Meg wasn't all that fond on Marjorie's non-violent tactics. This disapproval was spreading in the Raider camp. A new leader was starting to be endorsed more and more by the Raiders, David Thorpe. If we head to the Pleasant Valley Trading Post, we can find a discussion between the current leadership of the Raiders, recorded by David Thorpe's girlfriend, Rosalind Jeffries.
They're talking crap about you again, David. This time, I'm gonna record them so you can hear it yourself.
I know, Harlan, I know. But what are we gonna do? David's not a very reasonable man.
You saw what he did, Margie. He killed those innocent people who came to help us. He killed them in cold blood. And for what? A few measly supplies? The man defied you at every turn. He does what he wants. The people chose you to lead them, not that blowhard.
Lower your voice, Harlan. You don't need to yell at me.
Sorry, dear. You're right. I just don't know what to do anymore. I don't want to live like this. Like some sort of
savages? I know. Don't worry. We'll deal with it. I'll hold a trial with the aim to exile him for his crimes.
If he chooses not to participate in the trial, then what? You're aware more and more people are starting to side with him, right?
Not everyone is willing to follow a foolish madman. Trust me, Harlan. Reason will win out in the end.
I tell you, I'm inclined to go over there and give him a piece of my mind.
Now, Harlan, dear, don't do anything stupid.
You know me, I'm just upset is all. It might just be pissing into the wind, but I'm still going to go talk with him. I'll be civil. Promise.
Eventually, David Thorpe would take control, and the Raiders would eventually split up into the Raider subgroups that we see today. Only after a violent breakup, though. The Charleston government did end up sending a search party to the ski resort, and they discovered the aftermath of this breakup. In the Charleston Capitol building on Holbrook's terminal, we can hear their first-hand accounts. Capitol Mail Relay. It was a massacre. Fleischer and I were finally able to go up into the mountains and see what the status was up there. I wish I hadn't. You thought the winter was bad here. You don't even want to know what they resorted to up there. I thought those who've been driven mad by the radiation were ghoulish, but those rich outsiders, they're the real monsters. Baker. The Raiders went on to form the Cutthroats led by David Thorpe, the Trappers who specialized in using traps in indirect combat, the Diehards, who were mainly a group of addicts who were held up at the Palace of the Winding Path. Again, I have a whole video on that location. The Blackwater Bandits, who were talented thieves. They made their living by stealing from the Brotherhood. And the infamous Gormans, who ate people. Eventually, all members of the Raiders would end up dying or leaving the region before Vault 76 ever opened. But now, with rumors spreading about the treasure of Appalachia, they once again descend on the region, looking to make it their home. Alright guys, that's all I have on the Raiders in Appalachia. I hope everybody enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Also consider following me on Twitter. It's the best place for me to keep in contact with you guys. But anyway, this has been Woodgen TV. Thanks for watching, guys.
I need you, all of you, to do your part.